for us to respond to people who come to us. Either, let's say you've started a conversation online, it is very important for us to respond and be very engaging with the community that we're trying to engage with. Or people send you a message on Facebook, do not take it lightly. Or someone just, anyone, whatever whatever caliber they come at you at, give everyone the same importance. Let's say the US ambassador for your country walked into your incubator. Imagine the importance that you would show them and appreciation you'd have for them walking into your incubator. That is the same way you should treat every single one who is coming into your incubator, or who is sending you a message, or who's asking a question about your services. We tend, because we get so much, we tend to usually subplay or say, oh, I'll respond to this later on. Be that incubator that has readily available information, that when people need to know things on your or about you, they easily find that information. What does your website look like? Does it tell people about everything that you do as an incubator? It needs to be crisply clear that this is what we offer, these are our expectations, so that they can also become marketers for your incubator. It is very key, when marketing your incubator, it's very key that you offer services that are going to sell you. By that, I mean, make sure that everything you do it to a point where whoever you did it for will become a marketer for you as an incubator. Do not be at a place where no one knows what you do, but you fail to communicate it in a very proper way to everyone around you. Trade shows are a very important place for you to market your incubator. What I mean is, are there like events hosted by other organizations that are happening within your city? Attend them. Ask if you could give a 2-minute presentation about what you do. It doesn't have to be slides or something like that. It could just be your organization's elevator pitch. Hi, my name is Barbara from Hive Collab. We do X, X, and X. We serve X, X, and X. 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever time they can give you, take that up. If they offer you a table at an event, maybe hosted by government looking for young people, or a university doing an event, go in there. Have your materials ready. Small brochures, readily taking people's information. It could be online, it could be an offline as simple as a paper, taking people's relevant information, i.e. you don't want to miss on their email and also on their phone number. Create SMS campaigns where you reach out to people. You have to also be careful not to send people information that is unsolicited. If you're like an incubator in Uganda, that is not allowed. But if people give you their phone numbers and you have some sort of marketing, you can put it on the paper and say, by signing up on this paper, you're allowing us to reach you from time to time with information concerning our organization. So that alone says, by the time they give you their phone number, it means they're okay with you sending them a bit of information about you. Keep your database engaged. So as an incubator, you're going to create a database of all your stakeholders and then segment them. You don't want to bombard your funder or your investor with information about all the events that you're doing. You want to just send them maybe reports about events, things that are important to them that will help inform the decisions that they're making about your organization. So you are going to have segmented databases. There's one where if it's for the entrepreneurs that you're serving, you know the information that they're interested in and you're keeping them engaged. You're not going to send a message in January and then send your next message like in April. Keep people engaged with relevant information, not just any stuff that you feel, oh yeah, I need to keep people engaged, let me send them this. And then ask people questions. Do surveys. What do people want from your incubator? And then offer that service and then market it to them. You told us this, we actually listened. You want to be that incubator that is very involving and respondent to what your stakeholders are telling you about. So I've talked about press, I've talked about social media, I've talked about physical events that are happening within your country. Attend them. And then engage all the time. Keep people engaged. You could host events like info sessions at different places about your incubator. You could go to a university and just talk about yourself. Go to anywhere that you know your stakeholders are. Ensure that you're in that space. If it's just an evening event, maybe a networking hour, Go there, go with your stuff, very prepared, with either your brochures, your business cards. It's very common for us to go to places without something as simple as a business card. And then you're talking to all these people, and then you leave and you feel like, oh, I've hit my target. My target was to talk to 10 potential clients that could come into our incubator, or 10 potential donors, and you did not leave them with anything. And then remember, they've talked to 1,000 other people. They are not going to remember you. What do you do after you've attended an event and you've marketed yourself? You've collected all these business cards. Make sure you respond within the first 24 hours. Send them an email, say, oh, it was really a pleasure speaking to you about Hive Collab, or about whatever it is that you're trying to market them. A pleasure learning about whatever service it is they are doing, either it's a startup or it's a funder or any stakeholder within your portfolio. You're going to send them an email thanking them for the conversation you had, and build something. Find an interesting point or connection point for both of you to build a conversation around it. So let us say I attended an event and I met a potential funder for Hive Collab. What I will do is take their business card and get back to them. As soon as I get home, I will send out an email to them and say, oh, thank you so much for the time that you gave me to speak to you about Hive Collab. And I will just give a very small paragraph about Hive Collab again, just in case they spoke to 1,000 other incubators and they forgot about me. It was a pleasure speaking to you about Hive Collab. Again, this is what we do. It was an interesting point connecting with you on, if there was something particular that you connected on, connecting with you on blah, 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 blah. As next steps, if you had agreed there would be any next steps, as next steps, I had agreed I would send you a one-page document about our hub. Here it is. I look forward to hearing from you. And I would leave it at that. And then if they don't respond, I will give it a week or two to just follow up again. Hey, Barbara here, just following up on blah, blah, blah. And then, get them to respond back to you. If you're going to try to market your incubator to a funder, again, what you want to do is read up on them before you actually go there. So let us say you are invited, as an incubator, you're invited to a stakeholders, maybe a Ugandan incubator stakeholders or ICT technology sector in the country. What I will do is, if I have a list of the people that are going to attend, I will just read up on all of them. If their CVs or their websites are available, I will just read up on all of them. I will not go and try to meet every single person that is at that event. I will see who is most important for me. So there's top priority, then there's priority, and then there's would be good to meet. I would make sure I tick off my top 5. At any event, I just make sure I make top 5s. Who are the top 5 people that I want to talk to? It could be a startup that I feel has great potential and I want to get them into my incubator. So what I will do is just make sure that I have them on my top 5 or my priority. And once I'm at an event, I will look out for them. But before I get to an event, if I have the chance of having their contact, I will reach out to them and say, I would like to have maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes of your time during this event. I see that both of us are going to this event. I would like to have maybe 10 to 5 minutes of your time. People will always respond. And so you find time to meet with them and have a one-on-one. When you're at a place and everyone is trying to meet the same person that you're meeting, it gives you pro points if you actually reached out to them before the actual event. So know where you're going. Do not just go because they said, let us go to this event because we are an incubator. Why are you going? What is your goal for attending this particular event? And that is your place where you know what you're trying to look for. If you are looking for more startups, you're going to attend events that are geared towards that will give you the actual stakeholder that you're actually trying to reach. If you're looking at fundraising and you're looking at funds, you're going to attend more events that are targeted towards what you're trying to actually get to. Okay, identify 3 ways. Learn from your customers also. Learn from your customers. It's not about you just giving them information. It is learning from them, what do they want. Do not just put out blunt messaging. Make sure the messaging speaks to the need of your customer that you're trying to reach out to.